Look.
Listen.
Hey, it's Michael and Taylor. It's Lookless with Geese Guyera. I bet you're excited to start on the very exciting Ash and Pikachu farewell series. Me too, but Geese can't record, so we're doing the episode before instead. Which
it's okay.
It's a good episode.
It's a great episode.
Hey, we're tearing up. We're having a great time. Girls, Taylor, get the elephant out of the room. Let him know.
Oh, yeah. I had major surgery on my knee, so I'm on some mild major pain medication. I stayed overnight in the hospital, which was great. Apparently, I kept having all the nurses talk to me about how amusing I was after I got out of the procedure, because I was so paranoid. So one, never thought I was going to die as much as I did this time. I've been in like the other surgery that caused this issue. I was fine with it. This time I go in and I was like, I don't feel like I'm making it out of this one. This is my last bank job before retirement situation, right? Like, this will be the surgery that fixes everything, and I just die on the operating table, which is fine for me. I wouldn't know. So I get out, and the only thing I was worried about, and I kept asking about it when they were giving me anesthesia, was, am I going to poop on the operating table? Why was I wondering this, you might ask? Because to go back full circle to my impending doom thoughts.
One sec. This is a podcast about Pokemon and other things.
Taylor, yeah. Don't forget. So this falls under the eaten category too. I treated it as a last meal, and I went to Whataburger, and I had 2 burgers, I had 2 shakes, and I had a giant Chipotle burrito that they were taking pictures of, and I was like, "Can't eat after midnight, huh? All right, I'll eat this at 11:30." And I ate so much food, and I never pooed.
They told you can't eat after midnight, so you ate an immense amount at 11:30?
Yep. Technicality, Your Honor.
No, that's not medically
but I was reading articles, so that's kind of an outdated practice, is not eating or drinking, especially because I had a really complicated surgeries. They were doing a bunch of different stuff to my knee. I got the old screws though, the ones that broke, and I have them in a little jar. So that's exciting. I'm gonna put them in some epoxy or something and have them like a trophy, like a deer head on the wall, because I broke them via intense physical therapy. But I got 3 new screws, so it was a complicated procedure. So they had to have me operated on later in the day. Normally, the really easy ones that you can just autopilot your way through, they're banging out at 5:30 in the morning. This one was, I think, 1 p.m. So I was the last surgery of the day, I think. Anyway, I go into the procedure, and all I'm doing is asking doctors and nurses, everybody saying, "Do you have any questions?" And I say, "Yes, am I going to poop on the operating table?" And everybody says, "Don't worry, it happens every day." As if that's going to assuage my worry. As if me, in my mind, I have an open knee, I've pooped myself, and I'm dead on the operating table. And that's how I'm remembered.
The operating table.
Yeah, I'm very worried about it. So I get out of the procedure, and the nurses were like, "Oh, we were all laughing so much," because they're apparently angry people that get out of anesthesia, and they're goofy, and I'm one of the goofy ones. So they said I just kept asking if I peed and pooped on the operating table.
It's a valid concern.
Very much so.
They probably would lie to you, though, and say, no.
That's what I was thinking, too. That's what I was thinking.
You smell the urine down your leg.
It's just sitting in a pool that they didn't want to clean up. But yeah, I managed to, it's been a very smooth recovery compared to the last time. The last time, I don't know if you remember, but I wound up in the emergency room doing an ultrasound because they thought I was having a stroke. I had all this nerve damage. Obviously, the procedure was performed improperly, so I had this crazy swelling and this crazy pain. And this has been very smooth. But this surgeon is terrific. You can't make an appointment with him. You have to get referred by other doctors. So great experience overall. 9 out of 10, deducting 1 point for lying about the fact that I pooped on the operating table.
Very sick. Pokemon is a good show.
It's a great show.
And let's move on to watching play. Good. Everybody email looklistencast@gmail.com and congratulate Taylor on his survival and recovery and wish him minimum vomiting. For watching, I feel like, because it's been a long time since we've recorded Clambos, and I feel like I've actually missed a lot off of this list. Two things. These things I'll mention last week, I think, or Banshees of Inisherin and
Oh,
Megan.
was that good?
I watched. Yeah, it's good.
Nice.
Sort of favorite kind of experience, which is I didn't know what it was, so the whole thing was a surprise.
Nice.
For a second, I thought it was a horror film, The Banshees of Inisherin.
Insurance Island?
Yes, Insurance Island. Megan is a horror movie, but it was well made. And I also watched The Last of Us, both episodes 1 and 2.
I haven't seen episode 2 yet.
Episode 2 is much better than episode 1. You should
That's
watch
good.
it after this. You should watch it after this.
Okay.
Just the intro alone of episode 2 of The Last of Us is the greatest video game adaptation of all time. Now, Taylor seems to say he doesn't like the first episode. I wasn't blown away.
Yeah.
My biggest gripes were I feel like they can make their changes with Pedro Pascal, but don't give him the exact same dialogue Troy Baker got, because it's not the same
interpretation of the character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When so I'm jumping a little bit ahead to video games because it ties into this. Episode 1 of Last of Us comes out and they say, hey, with PlayStation Premium, you can just play a free trial of Last of Us Part 1 on PS5. And I say, oh, okay, it's free. I'll try it a little bit.
Nice.
Troy Baker's delivery of the word baby girl in his Southern accent works so well.
Oh,
and nothing gets Pedro Pascal. I love him in Game of Thrones and whatnot, but don't give him that dialogue because it doesn't sound authentic.
Yeah.
I don't believe that character that he's portraying would use the word baby girl like that, because it just didn't come off authentic. And there's so many Australians and British people in this show, so you get little things. You notice this, girls, right? Where British or Australians say anything instead of anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, when they're playing Americans, the directors let that slip through. They should have done another take.
They probably just do what we do and yell out, get it in post, and hope that it magically fixes itself.
Yeah, anything.
What I would
Americans do not say anything. They do not say inne. They say any. But Europeans, Australians, they'll say anything. And it's a pet peeve. But I don't like when a lot of things look like a set, which happens a lot, which didn't happen in House of Dragons. And I don't like how all the fungus looks like plastic. But that being said, it was still very tense. And the second episode is much, much better. I recommend everyone watch it. And I'm so excited because the show's adding a bunch of lore. And if this is canon to the games, that's super, super sick.
I didn't for episode 1, I really like it. I love the video game a lot. I don't like what they're doing in episode 1, at least, with how they're telling the story from an ensemble perspective. I really enjoyed and I love that form of storytelling, but I like in the first one how it is very video gamey, how A leads to B, leads to C, leads to D, and you kind of find out about these sort of ancillary parts of the story and cast members through one perspective. Whereas in the show, they're just doing almost like Meanwhile on the Farm every 10 minutes. And I didn't like that as much. But I can't say that that's bad. It's just not something that I really like. I really don't like the casting of Ellie at all. I don't remember the character being that abrasive.
She can be.
I loved her in Game of Thrones. I thought she was great in Game of Thrones.
My problem, I wrote this down when I was talking in the Discord about it. I don't believe Bella Ramsey uses the F word in her real life.
Correct.
Because when she says it, it sounds, just like I said before, very inauthentic, which is too bad. Maybe it's just the American accent she's putting on, but it does not sound like that woman uses the F word on a regular basis.
It would be like seeing me do it.
It sounds, well, no, because I know you. I don't know this person personally. It's just coming out of her mouth, it sounds foreign.
Yeah.
She doesn't know how to hit the F word. That's something, it's like people who aren't smokers smoking in entertainment. You could tell, I guess. Too
There's
bad.
Just it's not, we'll see what they do.
It's not perfect, but it's still good. That's fair. Megan, I guess I should mention a little bit more of that. I was laughing throughout Megan, so there's good laughs.
Oh, Megan's great.
Do I recommend it? Maybe. If you got an AMC A-list, of course.
I definitely recommend it just because it's I recommend it to people who don't like horror movies because it's not like it's fun, it's silly. I like when people make a movie that you can tell they're having fun making. As soon as I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
the girl from Get Out, I was on board because I think she's terrific.
Let's move on to your video games.
So I'm gonna try emulation on my Steam Deck because I really want to play Mega Man X Command Mission. I've been watching a lot of Mega Man X videos lately on YouTube. I'm doing my normal playing of Destiny 2. I started playing Remnant from the Ashes with Eric, which is a good game. And I got a little bit into Hollow Knight, beat a couple bosses. I was still okay with it. I don't like that game as much as everybody else, but I'm assuming it's gonna click at some point.
There's
Um,
drama with Hollow Knight. Some people adore it and some people hate it. And
I just don't understand how people are on team. This is the greatest game I've ever played. I've had such an emotional response. And I've watched a lot of breakdown videos of it because I just don't understand how I'm not getting it. It's adorable. I just don't like it because it's the aesthetic is a little dark.
it's a flash
Um,
game looking thing.
yeah, and you get lost, and people seem to like that, but it's not the same type of getting lost as, say, Bloodborne. It's
Seems
not.
frustrating.
Yes, you feel lost. You don't feel like you're exploring, and that kind of bothers me a little bit.
There is a secret way to get a map, but it's not a good map. Is that what it is?
You can get a map, you can get a quill and mark it down, and you can equip a charm called the Wayward Compass, which shows you your location. That definitely helps, but ultimately you have to look up where you want to go. The
Uh,
problem with, I mean, you don't have to, but the problem with a game that kind of is lauded for its difficulty is that if you're lost, you are probably dying and you're probably frustrated.
hmm.
Metroid Dread felt cooler, while also being pretty punishing. Did I tell you I installed back paddles on my DualShock or my DualSense?
Wait. Well, I know you should own the back pedals for DualShock 4, and the DualSense
Yes.
Edge is coming out. You have some weird
Right.
third-party nonsense?
Yeah. I'm gonna show you real quick for the viewers at home. It's this little system. You
Right.
replace the back and then it has four little paddles. I was looking up the battery life on the DualSense Edge and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's about 4 hours." And I said, "Really? For a $250 controller? You're only giving me two paddles. You're giving me the option of correcting stick drift via money and you're decreasing the battery life."
Here's the thing. I think the controller keeps going for a while, even after it gives you that low battery warning. That's just
Mhm.
when everybody plugs it in and thinks that it's dead.
Oh.
Also, if I was going to play with the DualSense Edge
Mhm.
for pro elite gaming, I would
Uh-huh.
probably use the threaded, braided cable and play wired because it
Yeah.
locks into the controller. You can't even break it. It's so
Which is
locked in.
the problem is that's a bad idea.
Yeah, you can break your PlayStation, but you're not breaking that controller.
It is half the cost of the console. But yeah,
Oh
I
God,
didn't think.
Clambos.
Mm,
That reminds me of
yeah.
one of the best video game experiences I've ever had is with Legend of Zelda: Four Swords Adventure. And you would play on the GameCube, but everybody'd be on their little Game Boy Advance, and you'd all be plugged in with the GameCube to Game Boy Advance link cables.
I wish I had that experience.
So you got four people, cables everywhere. Now, Clambos, I want you to take a guess as to what happens if somebody's walking in front of the television and accidentally unplugs one cable. A pause screen, you ask? That says, "Oh, please plug back in?" No. Immediate reset to title screen. Every time. It was so frustrating. If anybody pulled just a
uh,
little too hard, boom, title screen.
oh,
Oh, what
that's
a
good.
design. Oh, I mean,
That's
okay.
good.
Do I recognize that on GameCube hardware, maybe it was a little difficult to run 5 instances of a video? Okay. But do you need to reset to title? Evidently, because that's what they did.
Eh. Been playing a bunch of Mega Man. The bad thing about the X Legacy collection, you know how much I love Mega Man X. I can't play it because of the input delay. And hearing myself say that makes me roll my eyes because I don't want to be one of those like literally unplayable. Mega Man X4 is fine. I totally
Wait.
forgot that I had purchased the ZX collection.
Me too. It was on sale and I got excited and I said I'd already purchased it. But hold on. What platform is Mega Man X? Does Mega Man X have input lag on?
The PlayStation one.
Even with game mode?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I was looking it up online and everybody said it's such a prevalent issue. And I thought I was just bad. And I had this whole crisis because I'm sitting there, in a pool of misery, can't get off the bed on pain medication, trying to boot up my old comfy game from when I was a kid. I was so good at Mega Man X, doing deathless runs and stuff. And I can't beat levels. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh God, I've gotten too old to enjoy video games. And then I look it up and it's like, oh no, input lag is just terrible and they never did anything to fix it. X4 is fine. So I played X4, super crispy. Played
So weird.
ZX, super crispy. Those games feel fantastic to play.
Yeah, but you should play Mega Man X1 on an analog pocket. Or
how
your
is
Steam
your
Deck.
analog pocket?
Oh, I like it. Once I
Yeah?
get to once it's my turn to talk about video games, I'll talk about analog pocket.
Oh, tell me about it. I don't know what's going on.
No. I played Turok 2 Seeds of Evil on PlayStation 5.
Turok is so sick. What a sick game.
When I was a kid, the commercials for Turok 2 Seeds of Evil were the sickest things on the planet. And the cartridge for Nintendo 64 was black. And it was the coolest thing. Did I ever own that game? No. I had Turok 2 Seeds of Evil on Game Boy Color. And it was not the same game. Let me see if that game was rated mature. Wouldn't that be hilarious on Game Boy Color? I don't think it was. Probably rated teen.
That's
Turok.
good.
Turok 2 Seeds of... Anyway, it was on sale on PSN for $4, and I went, oh, I gotta buy this. Buy this. And then, oh my God. So the internet went out, and I thought, oh, no problem. I'll just KA for the first Turok on Game Boy Color.
Turkish Seeds.
Turkish Massage.
Evil Game Boy.
Game Boy. Everyone? It's rated everyone? That's funny.
I was going to guess everyone because it can't render violence. Yeah, it is.
It's funny because the cover is blood all over it.
Yeah, it's just a 2 written in blood. What a good concept.
Okay. What was I talking about?
I just Googled Turkish Seeds Evil Game Boy.
No, Turkish Seeds Evil Game Boy. No, the internet. So I say to myself, okay. Oh, actually, this was 1 week ago. So I was actually a little bit really upset because I wanted to watch The Last of Us, but I couldn't because there was no internet.
No.
Okay. I know. So I say, let me just play video games. I just purchased Turok 2 Seeds of Evil at work. I hit the download button, so it's already completely fully downloaded on my PlayStation 5. So it's good to go. It knows I bought it. I press the X button to launch the game. Oh, we can't verify you own this. I went,
that's very funny.
And I checked my settings.
That's good.
My settings are already clicked to I can play this offline. Still didn't help. So I go, let me play Ape Escape on PS5. It just won't launch. It just won't open because of the internet. So I tether mobile hotspot my PS5 to my phone just so it can read for a second that I own everything. And then I can play video games. And it was so stupid.
You were already living in an apocalypse. You didn't even need a Last of Us.
Now I need to buy a bunch of games on disc, I guess. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's how I... what was that game that I have? The Too
Call
Human.
Before you go on about Too Human, I do want to just acknowledge the fact that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, I think that's the most recent one, being shipped out on freights. Is that what it's called? Freight ships? Freighter? Cargo?
Yeah, freighters. Yep.
Put on planes, boxes, trucks, driven around the country, sold in stores.
Yeah.
That disc has 50 megabytes on it. That's just a launcher to download the video game. And that's hysterical to me.
Exciting times.
That's so good. And you sell that. You go to GameStop and you trade that in the 50 megabytes or 50 kilobytes. No, I'm sure.
I don't even know the rationale, because you have to be online to play it then, right?
Yeah.
I always wonder what I would do on like a desert island type scenario, because I always think I would want to play games if I had a house on like a mountain or some remote area or something. And I just think about all of the people who don't have the internet trying to play video games. Hey, do you have an extensive backlog of games? I assume you do, right?
Everybody does.
Okay.
There's nobody on this planet who just, oh no, I beat them all. I played all the games I wanted.
You're pretty good about sitting down and powering through a game, though.
If it's a Naughty Dog game, maybe, but not most games, really. Like a Sony first-party game, like a God of War or a Naughty Dog game, yes. But
I was watching that episode
yes.
of Twilight Zone where he, the guy,
Glasses?
Yeah, Glasses McCoolahan, his episode. And I was thinking, I wonder how many years I would be okay consistently playing games from my backlog until I caught up. You'd be fine. Up. I think I'd be good for like 4 years. And then I would just replay stuff.
Way more than 4 years. Way more. So? You'd be good for the rest of your life, yes. You would just play stuff that you wouldn't get around to in normal times.
Stuff that I already own?
Oh, yeah. Think about your Steam library or all your PS3 games or something. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. I also play a lot of Analog Pocket. I said I was going to talk about that. I adore the font on the Game Boy Advance version of Link to the Past. So that is a lot of fun to stare at because that screen is so beautiful. And I'm also going to there's a Street Fighter game, Street Fighter Alpha, I think, on Game Boy Advance that sparked this entire thing in me. I just saw a YouTube video of somebody running that game on, I think it was some modded GBA, but the screen looked beautiful. And I said, whoa, wait, how is that possible? How is it possible for it to look that good? And just seeing this image on this random YouTube video of this guy running Street Fighter Alpha, whatever, made me need to own a beautiful screen Game Boy Advance. And now I do, so I will get that game and play it. Now, the thing with this Analog Pocket, and just like the same with the PS1 Classic when I put in the little USB drive to play Game Boy games, I don't actually sit there and play it for a long time. It's just, let me play for 5 minutes to get that little nostalgia, and then I turn it off. It's like, I'm not actually going to beat Bart and the Beanstalk.
Owning a strategy guide collection that I didn't think would be such a big thing is that I can get that hidden nostalgia that I need and have that experience with that game that I need to have. And I'm just good. I never need to play the game or anything. I just need to say, oh, I remember that area. Oh, sick. Yeah. And I'm just good.
That's probably for the best, because what happens to me is I'll be going about my day-to-day life, walking, got my Starbow in my 30-day January refill tumbler, and I will get the tune of an RPG in my head, and I'll whistle it or hum it a little bit and go, and my brain will go, well, when I get home, I got to beat that 200-hour RPG. It's not going to happen.
It's great when it kicks in with Final Fantasy IX for me.
Ooh, sick. Oh, I'm all every day. Oh my God, once a week at least am I singing the intro of Final Fantasy IX. But by a long shot, the music for the title screen of Final Fantasy IX is the best title screen music of all time in video games. What could be better than that?
Metroid Prime for me.
Okay. That is a very good song. Metroid Prime is very good, but two very distinct feelings. So let's not use the word best, I guess. Metroid Prime is like, ooh, sick. Final Fantasy IX is the most magical.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
You're just getting ready to experience such emotion. Where Metroid Prime is, God, this is sick.
Yeah, Metroid Prime is
different. Those two are in the top 10 easily. If you were just going to say best, but it's two very different feelings. So sick.
I'm excited for Metroid Prime 4. I think the collection's available for Switch, correct? Or is it not?
Word around the campfires, it's been ready forever, but they just are going to wait to release it, I guess, at a time that makes more sense for when 4 comes out.
They're probably going to wait for some people to make some fan projects and hit them with some copyright lawsuits.
Shouts out. You can play it on Wii if you want. And Taylor, time to talk about your food.
Hospital food.
Ooh, like such as
this weird chicken vegetable tzatziki thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
In my food, I wrote too much. Okay, Tamago Pond.
No, you didn't.
It's delicious, but I had it at H Mart instead of at Marukai Market in Little Tokyo, and they refrigerate it, and it doesn't have, I was going to say release date. It doesn't have an expiration date on it. It says to keep refrigerated and eat within 5 days, and it also doesn't have the little thing inside. What is that called? Not silica gel, but a similar kind of product that's supposed to keep something fresh. Very weird. I don't understand it. Somebody's eating my Tamago Pond. I don't know who it is at work, so that's strange.
Broke street date on the noodles. What is Tamago Pond?
It's the egg bread. Oh my God, you haven't been over here since I've been spreading the gospel of Tamago Pond. It's the greatest little Japanese treat on the planet. I bought so many so I could give some to my family when I visited for the holidays. It's just this incredible egg bread. It's super good. These little balls of egg bread.
I do love egg bread.
No, you're gonna love Tamago Pond.
Japan has bread on lock.
Actually, most people don't like Japan's bread. It's too expensive. They don't cut it, and it's not as good as Europe. I had some bad Jack in the Box. It was way too expensive. They will only sell me this new bonus Jack in a combo, only as a junior, and for too much money. And here's the best part about all of it. I'm so stupid I bought it. And all the burger is it's just a normal burger, but secret sauce on it. I can just order any burger and ask for secret sauce on the side. So that's
Checkmate,
on
Jack.
me.
I haven't seen a Jack in the Box commercial in a while. I used to like some of those. I had that. Did I tell you about my experience with Sonic? Maybe
Sonic driving?
Maybe like a year ago.
Probably not.
It was just middle of the night. I really wanted Sonic because we had great times at Sonic. I used to love
Route
Sonic.
44 Ocean Waters, get a bunch of tots of cheese. I ate jalapeno cheeseburgers until I got food poisoning.
I had
still ate some.
Such a good order, and I went through and I got it, and I was like, man, this is really, really expensive, because this was within the past year and a half, I'm going to say. So I was very appalled at the price. I had one of the worst experiences I have ever had. I hope it was a bad night, but Sonic is not doing too good. I assumed Jack in the Box would be kind of going in the same direction as far as quality goes.
Yeah. Their deals on the app are so bad. Whereas McDonald's are typically pretty good. The deals in Jack in the Box are so bad. So restrictive. Have we told that story on here about the night we went to Sonic?
No, we have not.
Okay, real quick, tell the Sonic story, and then I'll talk about
real fast,
real quick.
Okay. Spark Notes.
Spark Notes.
We want to order a little bit of food, and we ordered a bunch, and I don't know why, but every time they said, "Would you like anything else?" we would just say yes, and we went. What was our order total in 2007? It's like $70 or something.
At least.
I think it was close to 100. And they got so mad at us.
Why'd you keep asking if we wanted anything else then, God?
Yeah. Don't ask the question if you don't want the answer. Simple as that. I hope they learned a life lesson. I certainly didn't.
Yeah, we got a lot of food that night. That was fun.
Okay,
good. So I was served an advertisement on Instagram, and it said, "Hey, do you want cheap food? Because here's an app where we're just going to give you a bunch of food that we're going to throw away, and you pay almost no money for it." And I said, "What?"
Oh, that's sick.
I got so excited, immediately downloaded it, and I used it. And I used it at this place by my work, and I saw a bunch of pastries and croissants, and I said, "Ooh, this is going to be great. I'm going to get a big box of croissants." So I swiped the thing, spend $4.99. And then I go over there, get the bag, open it up, and it's just a big, giant pork sandwich. And I go,
it's better than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be a guy standing next to a trash can with a bunch of shards of food. Just a bunch of scraps, some fish bones, and
like a cat.
half-eaten
Like
biscuits.
a Tom and Jerry cartoon. So they asked me to review, and I, of course, leave 1 star because I don't eat pork and say, is there a way for me to use your service if I don't eat pork? And they apologized and said, here's another little free meal you can use. And he said there is an option to do vegetarian, which I didn't see. When I asked the guy, because he said, pick one of these mystery bags. And I said, which is the best one? And he says, I don't know. So I don't know if he's being coy.
It probably is.
Or if he actually doesn't know what's in the bag. I should have just said, but
how did he say it?
He's like, I don't know. But
he gave you the saucy little coy nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I need to say, well, seriously, I can't pork. So pork and mayonnaise, please, no. But I'll try it again. Hopefully, I can get it to work this time for delicious
or passable. That's where I would set my expectations for that one.
And then I've been eating at this Hawaiian place, and the inari is good and cheap, but you know what inari is? That's rice in fried tofu. It's very good. They have a loco moco, which is a Hawaiian dish, which is supposed to be a giant platter full of rice with a big egg and a hamburger patty covered in gravy. And I went, oh, okay, I'll try this. They gave me the smallest little container I've ever seen in my life. Because apparently you have to order a giant platter to even get rice. So it's a tiny little patty and a tiny little egg. And I was...
That's depressing.
Oh, that's just the way the world is now. You have to pay... You're paying minimum $18 for anything. And the portions are so much smaller than they were a few years ago. We're dying out here. Clambos, we're dying.
Be easy to keep the weight off, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Ate lots of halal, guys. They got chicken shawarma. Again, almost $20 for one sandwich. And
I wish I liked them. I think their shawarma's dry. They use dark meat, which most people like. I know I'm an outlier there, but that's not my favorite. And
the shawarma, really? I thought it was white meat. But anywho, their falafel, I mean, it's fine. It's just way too expensive. I've had way better Greek food, but I don't have a lot of good options around me. And then I'm using your little electric kettle with of course, purified water.
Nice.
To prepare instant noodles, to pour boiling water into cups of noodles. And clambos, I'm going to keep it real with you. I got some Korean spicy noodles. And this wasn't even the spicy noodles that say, volcano, ultra hot, ultra crazy hot. Oh my God. All it said was 2 times as spicy, made in Korea. And oh my God. I was putting my mouth under the sink, just pouring water on my lips and tongue for so long. It was so spicy. It was delicious, but it was so spicy. I wonder if I goofed it somehow because the amount of food you get in the instant noodle bowls isn't a lot. So I just combined 2 of them. And the other one was just yakisoba with no spice. I wonder if the yakisoba activated the spice and the double spicy
food, if it's really, really hot, will definitely sneak up on you.
So yes, tasty, but I can't afford to do it again. We can't be goofed again. All right, everybody, Clambos, we got to keep them moving. Time for Poke News of the Week. The new Pokemon cards are looking super sick. You all need to look up the secret rare arts of the new Pokemon. Scarlet and Violet's. Yes. Scarlet and Violet sets. I've been following the artists on Twitter and interacting with them in Japanese and emoji, and it's great. We just had a Larvitar Community Classic Day, so I got my 3 shiny Larvitars, got the whole line. Very sick. We're getting Noibat later this month, but unfortunately, I just got 2 shiny Noibat full odds in Pokemon Go, so that's fun. So it's going to be useless for me, but I'm happy for everyone else.
Yeah.
The leaks are saying that the DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are going to be good, which is good news. And also, there's a Terra-type raid coming for Scarlet and Violet for Greninja, Poison-type, Terra-type. And that should be fun because, of course, you cannot get Greninja in the game normally. Not until they do the Pokemon Home update. Until then, this is your only way to get that line. All right, Taylor. Before we send to break time, Geese needs you to deliver the weather from Ottawa, Canada.
Probably cold. Yeah. Ottawa, Canada, huh?
Ottawa, Canada, huh?
Nice. Look at this. Population,
Listening to
almost 1 million.
Clambos, please go to the YouTube channel Gamooks and watch all of our Let's Plays and vlogs because they're fun. By the end there, I think our audio was better, but listening to like some Crash Bandicoot, what's weird is we get the weird crackly that goes throughout that I think just had to do with processing.
Yeah.
But outside of that, the actual audio quality is so good. It must have been the Adobe Audition that I was putting it through, but like little things like mouth noises were so silent. Whereas
Pop
for
filters.
this, I have to edit them out.
It's probably all me clicking my darn tongue.
No, the processing I did to our audio for the Let's Plays made it where it just sounded really good. It was just very silent, not even annoying to hear a mouth noise. But then the problem is, Katamari seemed fine, but stuff before that, you would just get every once in a while. Probably make a lot of people turn them off. But they're very entertaining. You should, Clambos, please go watch the Gamooks Let's Plays.
We should make some more of those. Those were fun to make.
Yeah, the problem is, Let's Plays are tough to get people to watch. Streams, people adore streams, but Let's Plays, the audience is small for that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Weird. These days. I mean, if we were doing this 10 years ago, 15 years ago, different story. But
right.
Anyway, what's the weather in Ottawa?
Ottawa. Here's the weather. Give it to you straight. Precipitation, 2%. Humidity, 76%. Do I know how those interact with one another? No idea. 30 degrees Fahrenheit, and if I can get a quick translation on that for Celsius, it is, you want to guess? That'd be fun if you guess what the...
What is the Fahrenheit?
30.
30 Fahrenheit?
30 Fahrenheit, Ottawa, Canada.
Oh, that's easy. That's like -3 or something.
Minus one. You're very close.
That's why I said -1 was my second guess. So.
It was? Oh, that's sick. Got it on the second guess. Nice job. Rest of the week.
Well, it wasn't even. It was two guesses presented in no particular
Rest of the
order.
week gonna heat up a little bit. Still gonna give us this little cloud with snow flurries or rain. I'm assuming it's snow flurries. They're kind of cute. Friday's nice and dreary and sunny at the same time, I guess, with the little cloud over the sun. That's Ottawa, which I suspect is how their weather is year round. When I hear Ottawa, I think dreary, cold location.
All right. Thank you, reporter Geese Pete, for the weather this week. Now back to it's time to have a break.
Please enjoy this ad break. Okay. I went. Sorry.
Clambos Taylor's has a difficult time using the bathroom because of his maladies and surgeries. Okay. Now then. As mentioned at the top of the show, today we're going to watch the episode that came out immediately before the first episode of the Ash and Pikachu Farewell miniseries, To Be a Master. So this one is called, of course, Pocket Monsters, The Distant Blue Sky, or Poketto Monsutā, Haruka Naru Aoi Sora. You know that Sora means sky. You know. You know.
Yep. Guess where I learned that?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Almost. When I was watching Naruto.
Kaze means wind.
That's sick.
So here's an interesting factoid about this. It doesn't actually take place in the Journeys timeline, which we've watched an episode of. It takes place in the retelling of the series arc, which you girls have seen. We went to the movie theater and watched these Pokemon movies. So the movies we watched in the theaters, this takes place in. And spoilers, the end of this episode mentions an Entei, which was in one of the movies.
Interesting.
Which we watched on the podcast, too, for the big Look, Listen, Cross response message podcast. So it's all coming around full circle. And this is the classic episode where we talk about Ash's father, which... maybe spoilers, maybe not. We'll save it till we get there.
Boy, was I shocked about that.
Big shocks. It's a big episode. But I'll tell you what that tells to me. I'll tell you when we talk about it. To Be a Master, -1, because it's not To Be a Master yet.
Yes.
Clambos, we open with Ash swimming in some sort of pond, some sort of lake. We see some Poliwag, some Goldeen, some Sea King. Ash bumps into some kid underwater.
He's such a good swimmer. Everyone in Pokemon is just... Which got me thinking, if they have to do these giant I mean, they're going across the globe in some cases. They have to be in just peak human condition.
It may not look like it, but this is what peak trainer looks like.
I mean,
peak,
if I could move like that underwater, I'd be out of a job. I mean, I'd have a job.
No.
Everyone else but me would be out of a job. I'd have all the jobs.
He's just wearing a swimming trunk, so that's why he can move so fast. As
I
opposed
can't
to
move
normally
like
when he's swimming, he's in full combat gear.
Yeah, he's wearing jeans and a vest.
Oh my god, Clambos, there's a Gyarados. This is very terrifying. There's a Gyarados. Ash is gonna die now, but we cut to a big old pile of Pikachus. One of them, of course, is Ash's Pikachu. They're shocking in a pile. I guess that's fun for them. There's a Raichu over there sleeping.
Looks real warm.
Then we cut back to Ash, and he's just riding the Gyarados. He's a real horse whisperer, but for Pokemon.
Yep. Peak physical condition.
He's yelling for Pikachu, so Pikachu runs over to go see what's going on.
This is a retelling, right?
No.
And it's the first episode?
No. This is just set in that timeline.
Okay. Because there was none of the bumps in the road with Pikachu.
This is a new story.
Mm-hmm.
We've never seen this story before, but it's just set in the universe of that movie we watched, which was a retelling, which for the most part was the same story, just with some like Marshadow and stuff jumped in there and some different characters. Okay, so Pikachu shows up somehow, some way or another. Ash and Pikachu are jumping in the air, right? Doing a real sick gymnastic performance.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tells Pikachu to use, is it 100,000 volts, girls?
It's one of those. I watched the Japanese
10,000?
I'm going to say 10,000.
I'm going to say 100,000 volts. Typically, on Look Listen with Geese and Guyera, and Taylor is here too. Typically, what would happen is I would watch the Japanese version and Geese would watch the English, but this, as far as I'm aware, has not been dubbed yet. So, and that you better get ready because none of To Be a Master is going to be dubbed by the time we watch it, which is next week. So you better like the Japanese version and enjoy it. So unfortunately, there's no good legal way to watch this. But I mean, what are they gonna arrest you? Come on now.
Yeah, they can't arrest all of us.
Go Pokeball! Ash throws a Pokeball at the Gyarados.
He says go Monster Ball.
That's because in Japanese, a Pokeball is called a Monster Ball.
Interesting.
And Ultra Ball is called Hyper Ball.
That's pretty sick.
Isn't that fun?
Mm-hmm.
If it were up to my boy that I follow on Twitter, the guy, the man, the myth, the legend who translated Pokemon Red and Blue for the United States, he probably would have had it be Hyperball, but there was some weird... The reason it's not called Hyperball in English is because there was a product...
ADHD.
No.
Oh, never mind.
There was a toy called Hyperball, so they couldn't get the rights to Hyperball in the United States. They had to go for Ultra Ball instead. I think something happened with like Rockman too. That's why we have Mega Man, which is crazy to me. That's insane. That's so weird to me that we had Superman and then Mega Man was not taken by the 80s. That's crazy. Okay, the Gyarados popped out at the last shake and run off. Should have used a stronger ball.
I just kept thinking nobody catches a Gyarados. You kind of gotta flip-flop your way to the top with old Magikarp. Just splash your way to supremacy.
Nah. He could have used an Ultra Ball or something. The kid that Ash bumped into earlier is impressed with his performance in the battle, or the throwing the ball. Then Ash gets dressed. We get an intro on who Ash is, and we get a little montage, sorta, with the opening credits of Ash battling a trainer with a Machamp.
And a lot of montages in this episode.
Did they say that Machamp used Destroyer Beam?
I was mainly looking at Machamp. I don't know that I was looking at the attack names. Probably Destroyer Beam.
Sounds right. We cut to sunset, Pikachu saying goodbye to all the other Pikachus, doing that cute little tail thing they do as a greeting and a farewell, where they just kind of tap their tails together because they fit.
Is Ash's Pikachu a particularly strong Pikachu, or are they all...
Yes.
Okay.
Ash's Pikachu is the strongest Pikachu on the planet. That's why Team Rocket wants to capture it.
The other Pikachus have to know that. They have to know how sick it is to be in the presence of a lightning god.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. We cut to the nighttime, then to the morning, and Ash talks to his mother on the video phone, like always. He's near Tonari Town, which is an anime exclusive location that hasn't been dubbed. So if you want an English name, I am sorry. I nothing for Tonari Town.
Tonari Town's fine. It's good. Probably Teal or something.
And Ash's mom reveals she's going to see Ash's dad, and she invites Ash, of all people.
They're not estranged. This was news to me.
Which we didn't know. We thought there was trouble. But, well, maybe he is estranged in the main canon. Ash hangs up on his mother right before she's going to say something. You would imagine it's important. Chotomata, which, hold on a second. Chotomata, but he's already hanging off the phone and running off.
God, imagine having that as a kid.
Yeah, imagine. Think about it for 1 second of your life. Think about it.
Yeah, what a jerk.
Ash walks past Team Rocket in disguise in their overcoats and newspapers, as they do. And girls, what is their brilliant plan on today's episode?
Stealing Pikachu.
Oh my god.
I know. This is one for the history books.
I like Pokemon a lot.
Yeah.
But they can't come up with a different idea, even just once. Maybe the Scarlet and Violet anime will be. I mean, I guess Goku fights a bunch of people. That's the same thing, right?
There's all kinds of schemes that they have. Oh, did you see that Lapras? We've got to catch that. Oh, what's that egg? We've got to catch that.
Nurse Joy and Chansey are very scared by Team Rocket as they run off away.
Finally get their motivation. They're starving. They are literally starving.
They're starving to death. You feel bad for them. They got hungry bellies.
I felt very bad for them this episode.
Yeah, everybody feels bad for them. Everybody loves Team Rocket.
Everybody does. The Japanese voice actor for Meowth, much more. I like the direction because it actually just sounds like a Pokemon instead of a goon.
Brooklyn. Yeah. His name is Nyarth in Japanese.
What do you think the percentage of people who go off and try to do the whole Pokemon thing is in the youths of
how many people become Pokemon trainers?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a ton. It's probably like what? 5%?
Because you figure he's not finding a lot of people. And I know it's a big world out there and everything, but there are cities and they're not just populated with Pokemon trainers.
There's people who aren't even into Pokemon. There's people who are just bakers. There's people who have them as pets. The idea of being a Pokemon trainer and actually going out and battling with them, I think that's closer to like a 5%.
Okay.
I think so.
That seems like a good number. Because I was thinking about that. What if we had? I mean, there's got to be so many things that people are into in that world because it's a very interesting world.
Well, because there's plenty of people who have jobs that involve Pokemon, but they're not
like
trainers.
The police. Right.
Sure.
Where they're just like,
the beauty contestants.
What was that one? Lookout Mon.
Now, in your stat of how many people are Pokemon trainers, you're including all the gym leaders and things, right? And the Elite Four and all that?
Yeah. Okay. Where that's their job. But I would be curious to see I want to know what the typical route of a person's life is who wants to be like an Ash Ketchum. Or is he an outlier? Do most people just say, oh, I would like to own a Pokemon and have that integrated into my professional existence?
Yeah, I mean, their whole world's pretty based around Pokes. So
yeah.
I think it'd be pretty weird if you had a business with just absolutely no Pokemon help, maybe. Yeah. I don't know, who's to say? We cut to Ash walking up a Studio Ghibli shrine forest.
I'm so happy you said that.
Path into a hollow tree with these cool
the whole
Gengar
time I was just like, this is
stones.
The most Miyazaki thing I've ever seen.
Very much so, yeah. He ends up in a beautiful grove, and we see some Butterfree, Oddish, Vileplume, Bellsprout, Doduo, Dodrio, Caterpie, Victory Bell, Weeping Bell, Spearow, Farfetch'd. At night, we cut to at night, and there's some Farfetch'd in the sky flying, and you have to really pay attention because it's hard to tell what Pokemon that is. Farfetch'd. They can fly. Ash is sleeping in that hollowed out tree with Pikachu. We cut to the morning. Lickitung wakes him up with a big old lick. And oh my god, who's gone? Who has disappeared?
Pikachu.
I love this animation. When they zoom out
Mm-hmm.
And they make Ash look so tiny and stout against the big background. I'm a fan of it. And his little sleeping clothes.
The animation quality, I don't know what studio did this, but I was a pretty big fan of it.
Who appears out of nowhere, girls?
That child.
In the morning fog.
The child, which would normally be a character in a Miyazaki movie.
Yes. Haruko, is that his name? Haruko? Now,
or Haruto, one of the two.
I already knew the plot of this episode just from Twitter talking about it when it came out.
Uh-huh.
Did you clock it immediately?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
as soon as I saw him, and then when he starts talking about the sky, I was like, okay.
All right. So you clambos get it. The little boy shows up. Very mysterious boy.
With the sun shining behind him.
Very mysterious. He's got odd clothes. He's got odd hair. He's in the fog. He's
middle
so
of the forest. Doesn't touch Pokemon.
He's so cryptic. Ash goes for a handshake at some point and he can't do it.
Yeah.
And also he just knows what's going on. The boy says, "Have you lost your Pikachu?" And Ash says, "Yeah, how do you know?" You take it? And the kid leads him to Team Rocket. Team Rocket, as Taylor mentioned before, they're very hungry. They're splitting a single biscuit, and they've got Pikachu locked up in an electric-proof container.
And they're showing the key. Them showing the key, dangling it, is just chef's kiss of Team Rocket for me.
They're dangling the key to the electric chamber.
Nothing can open it except for this key.
And they're going to be rich now. Good news, clambos, because they're going to take Pikachu to Giovanni, and I guess they'll just give him a big bonus. I don't know. Ash and Haruko arrive, and Ash jumps down into the gorge and tells Team Rocket what's what. And Team Rocket calls him Juddy Boy.
Poor Ash.
There's a big Team Rocket intro, and during the Team Rocket intro, Ash, of course,
snags a key.
And he just opens up Pikachu. Pikachu shocks Team Rocket. They're blasting off again. There we
Fantastic
go. Problem solved.
Team Rocket. It was a very quota Team Rocket experience. I really liked it a lot.
We solved the problem of the episode. Call it a day. We had our Act 1, Act 2 conclusion. Perfect. Yeah. Ash thanks Haruko, gives him a Yoroshiku, which of course is similar to Hajime Mashite.
And walks off with Pikachu into the sunset until next time.
He puts his hand out like I mentioned before. Haruko talks about how he can't touch pokes, much like Lily.
That kid in X-Men 3.
Yeah, everybody's favorite X-Men.
Yeah, with Magneto.
Haruko asks Ash, what's touching Pokemon like? And Ash says, they're warm and cuddly and sick. So let's go on a touch adventure. And they're just going to go running around touching things, Pokemon. So we cut to an adorable Diglett in a forest. Pikachu says hello to it, and Ash goes to touch it, but the Diglett starts to quickly move, and it's dragging Ash. We get some good faces, then they touch some Dodrios, and then we get to Taylor's favorite Pokemon, Venonat, in a tree.
Horrifying Venonat.
He uses some Stun Spore and some Sleep Powder on Ash. Ash is in big trouble. In Japanese, they do a very amusing little pun joke here, which I don't know when they dub it if they're going to try to make a joke out of this, but so in Japanese, good evening is konbanwa, Konbanwa, konbanwa. And Venonat's name in Japanese is of course konpon. So Ash makes a joke. He says, "I know it's morning time, but konbanwa," which just sounds like konbanwa. So this is a good joke. And whoever did the subs made sure to give English speakers a little like guide there.
Yeah.
Sort of like, what was that movie? It turned into a big meme actually, but there's an anime. I was going to say Call Me by Your Name, but no, that's not it. What's
was
the anime?
Just Your Name?
Yeah, Your Name. Your Name, it became a big meme because there was one scene where the kid walks up. I don't remember whose body is in whose, but one of the children greets the friends of that child's body. And when you're watching in the theaters, they have the English. There's like a paragraph of text just explaining, well, you see, in Japanese, you refer to these by this, and you would put this modifier here for this type of friendship with this level of politeness. And it was very good. Very good.
Now, if you're saying
Because
this in the fall, it's...
Yeah, exactly. Oni-chan, something like that.
Yeah, some Oni-chan.
And then Ash chases some Bellsprout, and he touches a Kakuna. But what happens when he touches the Kakuna? All the Beedrills get very upset, and they chase Ash. Falls down a cliff. Haruko's fine. Oh, wait, his name's not Haruko. I think that's a woman's name. It's Haruto.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. I said it's either that or Haruto. But then I thought, I'm just being dumb because I was talking about watching Naruto earlier.
I'm pretty sure Haruko is a woman's name. Apologies to all Harukos. It's Haruto.
Mm.
Okay, Ash is starving.
And I'd like to apologize for all the Ashes out there.
Ash is starving.
Like Team Rocket.
Yeah, I'm hungry too. I'm getting a Tumbos. Rumbos. Not Tumbo means you're sick. I'm getting Rumbos. I'm hungry. All right. Haruto is going to lead Ash to some berries because he knows where some primo berries are.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'd trust him on berries.
Ash sees an old man in a house, tons of windows. He's painting a bunch of pictures of skies. And there's a woman, and she drops a basket of bread. She's very shocked. And this is where, if you were watching this on television in Japan, this is where there would be a commercial break. So there's a really cool little late title card, I guess you could call it, that appears on the screen in one, like on the left side of the screen, and then pops over to the right side of the screen, showing that was the cut for the ad.
I liked her reaction because I don't think enough people are shocked when they run into people in the middle of the forest.
Oh, yeah. Normally
just imagine she's doing her thing every day, and just all of a sudden there's a boy standing there staring. And then she apologizes.
Well, I mean, it's Japan. Everybody's polite.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So Painter Man storms out of the house. He looks furious. It really amused me, his little face when he first came out.
Yeah.
The woman's name is Sae, I guess we learn.
Mm-hmm.
She is mysterious. In her words, she says, "I knew it couldn't have been ellipses." So you clambos are probably getting the idea of what's going on at this point. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
The painter says, "All right, you can have all the berries you want. Have fun." And then
which is
storms
very nice.
back in. Yeah, very nice. Very, very polite of him. The woman, the wife, even offers to help Ash pick. Ash, of course, is polite and says, "Oh, no, you don't have to do that." But she does anyway. She helps him pick a bunch, and she even gives him a bunch of berry bread, which would have excited me. At some point during this exchange, Ash mentions that he had a friend with him. So the Sae gives him like 2 loaves of bread and says, "Here's some for your friend."
Mm-hmm.
Very sick. So Ash walks away, says goodbye, I think. Maybe he just waves goodbye. And there's Haruto just standing there a little away from the berry patch. Ash offers him some delicious bread, of course, and Haruto says, I can't eat any bread. I had too much breakfast. Very suspicious, Mr. Haruto, if that is your real name.
Mm-hmm.
Then we cut to them looking at the sky on this little cliff, nice little view, and they have a conversation about how Haruto says, "Oh, it's fine. I like watching people eat. It's like I feel like I'm eating." And Ash says, "Are you insane? Because if I watch people eat, I get hungrier," which is pretty reasonable conversation I think a lot of people have, especially with all these mukbang videos. Some people watch them because they can't eat, and some people, if they watch them, need to immediately eat. Who's to say which is the correct?
I'm in the latter category.
You don't like watching people eat?
It just makes me so hungry.
And
if I'm already full, it makes me feel sick.
Pikachu's adorable eating his berries. The sound design here is great. He's throwing the berry up in the air and catching it with his mouth, and they do a little sound effect with that. Very good. Pikachu and Ash kind of have a conversation, and Haruto asks, "Wait, you can speak Pokemon?" And Ash says, "Well, no. I don't understand what he's saying, but I can kind of get the feeling, sort of." And he says, "Oh, sick." Haruto, at this point, says, "Ash, I need a favor. I got a favor to ask you."
Yeah.
And Ash says, "All right." So we cut to some Nidorans. They're snuggling, and then we see some Mankeys running.
Evil Mankeys.
And one of them has a blue hat, which, of course, if you remember from the original anime, Mankey are known for stealing hats. They've stolen Ash's hat before.
Yep.
They love doing it. Love doing it. Turns out this little blue cap is Haruto's precious hat. So he asks Ash, "Can you please help me get this hat?" Pikachu says, "Let me shock him, boss." And Pikachu says, no, you're going to ruin the hat. We got to figure out something else.
Him saying, what's the line? I wrote it down. Haruto's precious cap made me laugh so much.
They would probably translate it to a different word.
Oh, God.
In a dub.
Haruto's precious cap.
Ash thinks he's going to be able to reason with these Mankey. Walks down there. Appeal to their compassion.
Notorious for their anger. Yeah.
Yeah. A Pokemon so angry it died and came back as a ghost in Scarlet and Violet. Annihilate.
Yeah.
So
ask
good.
it for the cat back.
So yeah, Ash doesn't want Pikachu to ruin the hat, so he's going to talk to him. Immediately, the Mankeys just throw rocks at him, so they start Ash starts chasing him around. Mankey jumps on an Onix. Ash jumps on the Onix. They're both flying through the sky. They fall off. Ash manages to catch the Mankey in the air and then takes the hat off of Mankey. Mankey immediately starts crying, bawling. He's so sad. So Ash says, fine, you can have my hat. And he takes off his own classic red and white hat with the green symbol on it and gives it to Mankey. And Mankey is thrilled with this, goes up with his Mankey pals, runs off.
Just imagine being that committed to doing a favor for somebody.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Ash is a good person.
Mm-hmm. Straight shooter.
We see Haruto standing a suspicious distance away. And he just waves to Ash. And then Ash goes, oh, okay, and starts walking towards him. But Haruto disappears and walks away. And then Ash starts to run and starts following through a forest. And we hit a brick wall. Oh, my God, we're back at the house of the painter and the woman. What is going on? Sai walks out and says, oh, hey, Ash, we're about to go for a walk. Why don't you join us? But then what do they notice in Ash's hands?
The blue precious cap.
And drama ensues. We learn, those two start getting sentimental about the hat. They accuse Ash of being a liar. The performance from the actor of Ash, and I guess it's in the script too, is kind of funny because they call him a liar. And he goes, I'm not a liar, real mad. But then he just goes into reasonable and says, wait, do you know Haruto? And they go, Haruto. And it is revealed that, and Pokemon actually does a good job with this, I think, for kids. We cut to the inside of their house and they're showing a picture of Sai and the painter. I don't know if we ever learned the dad's name, but we show a picture, a photograph in a frame of them with a younger Haruto wearing that cap. Mm-hmm. So something the Pokemon anime does, because children watch it, is when there is the subject of death, is they kind of talk around it. They don't just come right out and say it, which I think is neat for children who maybe aren't prepared for that. And they can just kind of think, what's going on?
Like anyway, if you know, you get it. And if you don't, I guess you would be confused though a little bit, right?
Kids are confused all the time. They don't even understand how McDonald's works. I mean, come on.
That's true.
So it's revealed through inference, like all of Japanese. Japanese is a language completely built around you just infer the meaning of something. You don't have all the information, but yeah, it's great. So
a lot of confusion.
Yeah, it does. But it's revealed through inference that Haruto passed away 1 year ago. He got sick and they've been sad ever since. And Painter Dad has been painting the sky because of how much Haruto loved the sky. And earlier, I suppose, during one of, or maybe this hasn't happened. When does this happen? The scene where Haruto mentions to Ash, oh, that particular painting of the sky is my favorite. At some point, that scene happens. I don't remember when it is, but that scene happens and it's slightly important for this part of the episode. They talk about Haruto and how much he used to love playing with Pokemon, how he used to love petting them, and he wanted to be a trainer, and he loved looking at the sky. And there was one sky in particular that he really loved because it was the only time he was together with his mother and father, because normally they were busy and didn't get a chance to all go out together. But there was one sky in particular, and this convinces Haruto's father to finally paint things other than the sky. So he's going to paint Pokemon and the forest, all the other things Haruto loves.
That was a precious hat.
Very precious.
So ghosts are just real.
In Pokemon world, yeah, certainly.
Human ghosts.
Yes. It's happened more than once.
When?
Oh, I was about to say you didn't watch the Ghastly episode, our Halloween special. That was our first holiday special. There's a human woman ghost that just hangs out with Ghastly in that episode.
Interesting. Okay. And Ash is psychic.
Yes. Yeah, we're about to get to the Ash's psychic scene. It's very sick.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a cute scene here where they show the shadow of Ash and Haruto's parents against the sky painting. It's a good framing. They say goodbye. Ash waves, and we see a Haruto ghost appear behind his parents, but this time very clearly a ghost with the ghost outline.
Yeah, he's all blue,
again.
so you know things didn't go too well.
Yes. Wait, no, things went perfect.
Well, yeah, but I mean, not for Haruto.
He smiles and disappears. Now we're back to Ash. He's walking through a spooky forest, and Haruto is standing in front of him again. And they don't come right out and say, Ash doesn't just say, hey, you were a ghost this whole time. He's just he plays it cool, Clambos.
Yeah, he's not scared at all.
He says, go ahead and touch Pikachu. Haruto tries to touch Pikachu. His hand goes right through it, just like the 1995 classic, Casper. Touch the Pikachu. Oh, God, he can't. He's magic. Ash says, oh, don't worry. I'm a psychic medium superhero.
Yes.
Touch my hand. The animation's going to go all blue, and I'm going to give you the magical power, and me, you, and Pikachu, Haruto, Ash, and Pikachu are all going to fill up with magic, ghost energy,
yes,
plasma, reality, and now you can actually touch Pikachu because your hand's on mine, and I am touching Pikachu, so you can feel Pikachu. It's very
absorb
sick,
my psychic energy.
Yes. And he's warm and soft. He disappears. And then we have a voiceover of Haruto as the camera pans by a Tangela, a Metapod, a Venomoth, a Weedle, a Pinsir, a Poliwag, a Poliwhirl, a Magikarp, a Kangaskhan, a Slowpoke, and a bunch of other pokes that we've already mentioned earlier in the episode. Ash is staring at the sky past the hollow tree. The hollow tree is just like in a Miyazaki movie where you enter like the land of Spirited Away.
This was just a Miyazaki episode.
So you walk through the hollow tree, magic land. You walk back out through the hollow tree, normal land.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Ash staring up at the sky. Ash thanks Pikachu. Nothing in particular. I'm sure Pikachu did something. Let him be pet or something. We cut to the cafeteria in the Pokemon Center, which I didn't know that Pokemon Centers had cafeterias in them, but evidently the one in Hinoto Town does.
Because I never know if like the reaction I'm having is just because it's the first time I'm seeing it, but I had the exact same response. I was like, "Oh my god, they have cafeterias here."
Tenoko Town. I mean, they had a cafeteria in your hospital, right? So that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Checks out.
For Poke surgeries.
Ash runs to see his mother, and mother says, "Oh, your dad already left. There was an emergency, and he had to go far away." And Ash goes, "Ah, dang it." Gone forever. I'm not going to see him for a long time. That stinks. But
I wonder when the last time old Ash saw his dad.
25 years ago, 30 years ago. But oh my God, it's fine because look, I got a bag for you. It's a present, and your dad left you a gift, and it's the original hat from the original series, red and white with the green symbol on it. And oh my God, what a stroke of good luck!
I know.
I gave my hat to those Mankeys because I had to give the hat to the ghost.
It all worked out.
And then to the parents of the ghost.
Well, I mean, except Haruto's, Haruto's not with us, and Ash's dad is also not around.
Ash's stomach rumbles, so it's time for, in the words of Dahlia Ketchum, time for the Pokemon Center kitchen to cook up a feast.
There's somebody named Dahlia?
That's his mother's name.
That's not his mother's name.
Or Delia. Apparently, the cafeteria just lets Ash's mom cook in there because she makes Ash's favorite, croquettes.
If a woman brings her own apron to a restaurant, she's cooking. No one's telling her no.
That's true. There was an earlier scene where Ash mentioned that he loves his mother's croquettes. Maybe it was when Haruto and Ash were staring at the sky eating berry loaves. Maybe. Mm-hmm. And Pikachu was eating some berry loaves. It's cute. It's Ash's favorite, his mom's croquettes. Mm-hmm. Team Rocket is sitting at a table next to them. Their stomachs are rumbling big time. And then guess what Ash's mother does, Clambos?
Makes too many croquettes.
What a problem to have. She drops off a bunch of croquettes to Team Rocket and says, and guess what? I'm making dessert too, so I hope you're hungry.
Probably just because Wobbuffet looks so sick.
Wait, he looks sick?
No, not Haruto sick. Ash's psychic power is sick.
Very sick. Team Rocket's so happy. Ash is just crying and eating, and they don't actually make it clear why he's crying.
Yeah.
They don't say. Girls, why is he crying? Is he crying because he missed his dad? Is he crying because of Haruto? Is he crying for a symbolic reason that has something to do with the fog in the novelization of Apocalypse Now?
I'm going to say, other than the last one, which I hadn't even considered, and I'm going to need to internalize for a while, I'm going to assume it's because he had some kind of connection with Haruto. And he was talking about how, like, Haruto likes watching people eat, and they touched, so somehow Haruto was getting enjoyment out of the eating via Ash. That's my guess.
There's some symbolic thing we're supposed to get. I'll have to Google later, and I'll tell you next week, Clambos, for the correct answer on what you're supposed to interpret.
Have you ever had a meal so good that you teared up?
No.
I have. I get it. Happened to me at this tapas place in the Lower East Side of Manhattan in 2009. It was, I had a fried goat cheese ball with this honey glaze at this place called Euskadi that isn't open anymore. And it was so good, my eyes started watering. Best thing I've ever eaten in my life. My goodness, was it good.
So sick.
So
Pikachu's concerned about Ash because he is just thick tears are falling from his eyes as he eats. But he likes the food. We cut to Ash sleeping. His mother tucks him in. Then we get to the next morning and, oh my goodness, it's breakfast time. And there's a kid with a Bulbasaur running by. Ash mentions, there's an Entei, I gotta go catch it, which is in one of the movies we watched, so it ties it into that timeline. Ash gets a cheesy bread shoved into his mouth, which of course is an anime trope, the running out the door with the toast in your mouth. And then we have the credits on the screen for the ending of the episode, which I'm always a fan of. That's always cool.
Oh, me too. It's so sick. I get so hype anytime that's happening.
Team Rocket runs out and they compliment Ash's mother on the croquettes. And then everybody's tearing up as the announcer starts to speak. And he once again describes who Ash Ketchum is. And he actually uses the words aiming to be a Pokemon master, which is the name of the miniseries we're going to watch.
How many episodes?
9.
Okay.
That'd be sick if you could make it to all of them. I don't know if you can with all your surgeries and whatnot, but...
Well, I'm done with surgeries, and I'm pretty much bedridden for...
That's pretty sick.
I can't drive for 3 months. The only issues I'm going to have are... let's see, I'm allowed to bend my knee after 2 weeks, which, boy, I never knew that this level of discomfort was a thing. So, tell Daenerys, 2 weeks, I'll be good. And then...
Tell Daenerys.
Yeah, because I can bend my knee.
Got him.
I should be good. I have a pretty darn open schedule during the day.
So then the emotional line from the announcer comes. He says, Ash's journeys will continue. And he says, if I say they will continue, they will. And that is the end of the episode. Ash and Pikachu are going to be gone forever after 9 more episodes. Very sad.
He'll come back. A bunch of cameos. He'll be older, maybe have kids, something like that. As long as I don't ruin it like they did Boruto.
Well, yeah, some people are theorizing that perhaps the protagonist of Scarlet and Violet is like the daughter of Ash or something, which would be something.
Could be.
All right, was there anything you wanted to touch on before we move into the wrap-up of the episode? Podcast episode, not the video, not the podcast.
Don't call the pot kettle black.
Don't.
That's the lesson of the week.
Go to YouTube channel Gamooks, Gamooks. There's funny moments in those. It's the wrap-up time, Clambos. Thank you for listening to this episode. Geese should be back next week, and if she's not, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do, because we got to get through this dang miniseries. Please follow us on social media at LookListenCast on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you to Keith Squared for our artwork.
And boilerplate or something. I know you always say boilerplate.
No. What, you don't like boilerplate?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
It's pretty sick. I've forgotten. I used to know what it means. I've forgotten.
It's a boilerplate.
Follow Keith at twitch.tv/Keith Squared. He's an artist. Thank you to our supporters on Anchor.fm. You can also support us, please. If you go to looklistencast.com, you'll see a link for Anchor.fm where you can support us monthly. Shouts out Professor Ticklebits for the website and boilerplate. Now I'm never going to be able to say boilerplate again. You've just ruined boilerplate for me. The ad edit. And please recommend this podcast to your friends and family because there's no swear words. So what's the worst that could happen? Taylor, please read our question of the week this week from RAWKPARTEE.
What is your best sandwich recipe? And this is from RAWKPARTEE. What is your best sandwich recipe? And have you tried any from Scarlet Violet? Have you tried any sandwiches?
Well, yeah, that's a big thing in Scarlet and Violet is you build your own sandwiches, and there's
sick.
dozens and dozens of ingredients. So you answer first.
I'll tell you something. I went to Jersey Mike's. And somebody got one of those, it's like their cheesesteak kind of equivalent. And I thought it was not great. Like, it's fine. I said, this is a very good sandwich. So what I did was I made my own Italian sandwich with like oregano, red wine vinegar, and olive oil with like salt and pepper mixed with the lettuce. And I did salami, pepperoni, and I made this amazing Italian sandwich. And I made it, and it was fantastic. I encourage everybody to make their own. It's very easy. Shredded lettuce mixed with that is fantastic. I think the grinder sandwich is something that's also been kind of popular online lately. I haven't tried making that, but it's basically the same thing with a little mayonnaise.
Blech.
Well, yeah, you'd hate it. Make sure you put that on your trash can leftovers app.
I know. So I'm not a big sandwich maker, but I used to make a peanut butter and jelly with Ruffles chips inside.
Oh, those are good, though. Those are real good.
Yeah, I used to love Ruffles and ranch. I used to always have a big old plate full of Ruffles, and I'd pour a bunch of ranch on there and just dip the Ruffles into the ranch and eat my peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, yeah.
I even, in Generation 5 Pokemon, I named 2 Pokemon, I nicknamed them Ruffles and Ranch. Rufflet, the little eagle. Rufflet, the little eagle, I named him Ruffles. And then the little vulture, I named her Ranch. So
I like the name Ruffles.
Like, version exclusives, both bird version exclusives. And it's funny you ask, have you tried any from Scarlet and Violet? Scarlet and Violet has actually got me on a little bit of a sandwich kick, kind of wanting to make sandwiches.
Oh, interesting.
So, but the answer is just peanut butter. It's just a peanut butter sandwich.
It's just peanut butter on bread? Add some honey to it at least.
Yeah,
peanut butter on bread. Peanut butter and honey on bread is fantastic because the honey kind of soaks into the bread and gets like a little chewy.
Thank you for your question, RAWKPARTEE. I hope we answered it successfully. But now back to Jersey Mike's though. I had some coupons, but they weren't in my backpack where they should have been, so it was a big disaster, and I didn't get to eat Jersey Mike's. But I will eat there soon. I ran out of the good coupons, but buy like chips and a drink to get a sandwich. How dumb! I don't even want chips and a drink.
How much was it?
They're so expensive. I don't even want to talk about it.
It's like $24 for a large sandwich. That's actually what made me make my own. Is I went out and I got a giant loaf of bread for $1, and I just did pepperoni and salami because I don't really like porky stuff, but the spiced pork is disguised enough. But the big thing about those sandwiches is literally just the lettuce and onions, slicing it really, really thin and mixing it with the vinegar, oil, and oregano. If you do that, you're going to have a fantastic sandwich because it's very fatty, but the vinegar kind of balances that fat out.
I always preferred Jimmy John's, but they closed down the Jimmy John's near me. So Jersey Mike's is just about my only option. And the bad thing is I can't remember what sub that I actually sort of halfway enjoyed and which one I didn't. I think it was the cold subs that were the good one and not the hot subs.
Correct. Yeah. That's
odd.
In my opinion, that's their best stuff.
God, I used to love Quiznos Turkey Ranch and Swiss, and I'd add cheddar cheese. Oh, those were so good.
Quiznos is what a sandwich chain. And when I look at the prices of Subway now, I just keep thinking, man, Quiznos, you would have been fine.
Anywho, thank you for listening. We're going to say goodbye, and next week we are going to be discussing what we've talked about for months, which is To Be a Master, the finale of Ash and Pikachu miniseries with Geese. Please, God, let it happen. And please send your emails to looklistencast@gmail.com. Thank you and goodbye. Say goodbye, Taylor.
Goodbye.
Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Peep. Thank you for listening to the Geese Peep Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Dow 30 company.